Hello, good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today on this Saturday, March 18th? I had to look that up. I'm here to do some streaming, some cleaning. My name's Chadley, by the way, in case I didn't say that part. I had some big plans today. I was going to try to stream from my Switch or my Steam Deck, which is not easy to do with the current setup I've got. I thought I had everything going pretty well, and it was like, oh, you need to install some updates for this to work properly. I was like, okay, sure. And I was like, that's 6.4 gigabytes of updates. And I went, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll do that. And in the meantime, maybe I'll do a different stream. Maybe I'll do some cleaning while that's running in the background. So I'm going to try to do that. I have a cat running around here all crazy, like, so it's throwing me off my game. So what we're going to do today is some cleaning of a few recent pickups. I don't think it's a huge pickup stream for me necessarily, or certainly not a lot of ones that are like really gross and need a ton of massive cleaning or anything. This is a relatively small one. But I figure I might as well go ahead and do that live while I'm waiting on my other one and working on my setup. I want to at least stream something and not just set everything up and then not do anything today. So we'll do a quick cleaning stream. So, on eBay, I got a whole bunch of like DS lots for pretty cheap that I just want to kind of clean them off a little bit before I add them to my collection and log them all and say what I have so I can keep track of what I've got. So first one, let's get into it, is Orcs and Elves. I used to own this game once and traded it in like a doofus and basically regretted it. So just wanted to put that back in my collection. Again, pretty cheap for that one. The contacts on the back are a little grody, so we're going to try to get that better and clean that up. So I'm going to start with just some 91% isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. I'm just going to get a couple little drops on there. Shouldn't need a ton. Just dab off some of the excess so I'm not just drenching this cartridge in alcohol or anything. And then I'm just going to brush across the back of the contacts there a little bit, just trying to get some of that grime away without doing anything too massive on that. This cartridge certainly, I'm noticing, must have had a pretty tough life. The YOEE identification number is like no longer present on the back. You can't even see it. Which usually means that someone did try to clean this off at one point, probably. Or it means you have a bootleg carpet copy. But if I look really closely at that like Nintendo logo, that looks like a pretty legitimate Nintendo logo to me. Usually that's another way you'll really tell, is if like the I in Nintendo is like a circle instead of a square, or if the E in Nintendo, like it's not, if it's like a bold E and it's like an aerial looking E instead of one with like a flat little ridge in the middle of the E. So I think we're probably okay. I don't think this is bootleg or anything. I think it's just, again, someone probably cleaned it with something that took the ink right off that had the identification thing on it. So I don't honestly didn't get that a whole lot better. Like that's not great. I think it'll be good enough to play. But yeah, this cartridge is in worse shape than I was aware of. But let's throw it in my Nintendo DS and just see if it'll boot up or not. Turn the volume down a little bit. There we go. Looks like it's booting up just fine. That's good to see. So that's good enough for me today. So I'll put that one in the success pile, and we'll keep on going down our list of successes. I got this Jake Hunter Detective Chronicles game for pretty cheap as well. Contacts on that are looking pretty dang good. I probably don't need to do much at all on that. I'm just going to kind of wipe it a little bit. Also, if you're curious about that I mentioned on that last game, that code, this one is YJGE. When I flip this one over, now you can see it printed right on that cartridge. So that's what was missing off the last one. But the logo still looks about the same on that Nintendo. So I think we're good there. So that one was in really good shape. It didn't really need anything. I just want to give it just a quick wipe, and we'll do a quick check And if it doesn't work, then we'll get back into it and clean it off some more. But yeah, it looks like this one's booting just fine. Just fine. So, good to see. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is, we got Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars, I think is what that one is. Yep, the Clone Wars. This one, the contacts are okay, but there is some gross sticker residue on here. And as I mentioned before, you want to be careful with that because you don't want to take off that ink that's on here if you can. So it's not sticky anymore. It's just kind of gross now. So we'll have to figure out what are some options here. There's sort of 3 things I like to use to clean off of the back of a cartridge like this. The probably most effective one quickly is like a Goo Gone. That usually works on sticker residue the best. If I've got, just sort of like a pretty deep, dirty grime, that's where like an isopropyl alcohol will do a pretty good job, but that also might take off this ink. So I'm going to try to avoid that if I can. And then finally, the other idea is just a basic like cleaner that you'd use on like a kitchen table or something like that, an all-purpose cleaner. That one might be good too, but I think I want something a little bit stronger for all this residue. So what we're going to try is throwing it on the floor. Nope, we're going to try putting some Goo Gone on it and see how that goes on the back here. So probably the best one on this one is just going to be like a paper towel. So I'm just going to get a little paper towel cube. Do a rectangle, put it into a little square. Probably do 2 of those. And just kind of get just a tiny bit of that on there. Not too much. That's probably plenty. Probably too much, honestly. Put that to the side. And we'll see if I can get this off carefully. And I'll try to be real gentle with this at first, just to make sure I don't lose any of that ink off of there. So it looks like we're doing a pretty good job there. I'm just going to let that kind of sit, too, now that it's like sitting on that grime. Just let it sit for a minute and kind of eat away at the cleaner or the residue that's there. Just kind of blotting it on there. You can already see like how much grime I'm getting off on my paper towel. So it's working. It's going well. All right, see if that's enough time. But now, yeah, I'm kind of able to just wipe this right off. And almost all of that residue is just coming off without even trying that hard. And again, that ink is still totally visible. Doesn't look like we're pulling off any of the ink, just the grime that's above it. So that's good. All right, so yeah, that's all that grime is now, all that sticker residue's gone off of there. And you can still see the ink and everything else, so we did a great job of cleaning that off. Oh, I just noticed there's a tiny bit on the cover too. Let's see if I can just use a little bit of the residual left to attack that a little bit. Definitely want to be careful on this though, because that paper label can react to that Goo Gone. Just trying to get kind of that top layer of stickiness off. There's a little bit of a paper residue on here too. Not sure if you can see. Oh, there we go. If I zoom in like real good, you can see some of that. So we'll get that off too. So I'm just going to use one of my old favorite scraper tools on here, a plastic scraper tool. And we're just going to see if I can get that off. There we go. So we got all that off there. I'm gonna wipe that off one more time. Just get anything else left over off of there. Cool. Now we're looking much better there. One last step I'm going to do on this, because I did use Goo Gone. That Goo Gone did leave a little bit of like that orangey smell residue on here. So I'm just going to get just a tiny bit of all-purpose cleaner, another part of my paper towel, and just go up on it one more time to just remove that residue, that Goo Gone residue that I added to it in the first place. But not too much. The dirty collection returns. Hello, Blinkhoom. How are you? Welcome on in. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're feeling better, by the way. I heard that you were having a rough go of it the last few days. So hopefully you're feeling better. I'm hoping Hoping everything's good over there for you. There we go. Okay, so that's in great shape there. Let's go ahead and test it out, make sure that's working just fine. Still a bit crummy, but surviving. Just a head cold. That's good. Glad to hear it was just a head cold. Glad to hear you can get that out of your system now. Get rid of it now while it's you're able to fully take care of yourself. Hopefully. All right, looks like we've got Lego Star Wars booting up just fine. That's good. Got that one. Good. Put that in the success pile. Let's see. Next one up is also in that same lot. Aragorn's Quest on DS. I have this on Wii, and I figured, like, I think it was like $1 to get this with the rest of my lot that I was already getting. Definitely got some sticker grossness on here. The contacts at the bottom are pretty gross too. So this is what we live for right here, is cleaning off one of these bad boys. So I'm gonna just see if I can start with no cleaners or anything like that. Just gonna see if I can start with just the scraper and plastic tools. See if I can get it off without anything else. But if it does give me any trouble, I won't hesitate to add some chemicals to make this easier. I'll just see if I can do it without first, especially since this is like on the label. I hate to do anything that might accidentally pull up some of this ink or otherwise deteriorate that. But it looks like we're getting pretty good work on getting this up without needing anything else so far, at least on the front. Okay, is that enough that I can peel it off with my fingers? Mostly a little bit of residue left behind, but that's all right. Continue working on that. All right, pretty good. Pretty good. I will take another like Goo Gone wipe or something to those corners when I get to the end. In the meantime, we're just gonna start or continue using our plastic scraper to try to get most of this paper off, and then we'll use cleaners on any of the residue if it's sticking out too bad. Yeah, this one is gonna come off, but it's also gonna deteriorate like this based on how old it is and how thin it kind of already is. Like someone's already tried to take one pass at this. So this one is just gonna take a little bit more work than one you can just get off clean in one piece. Go. Okay, I'll take another big chunk off of it, and then we'll just keep on scraping until we get all this off. So again, I think my goal here is to like remove most of the paper residue, not worrying too much about the sticky residue. That'll come off once I add some Goo Gone or whatever. But I'll start with getting off as much paper as I can, just so the Goo Gone can focus on that sticky residue underneath it. I'm also probably being a little rougher on this than I am for like most cartridges, mostly because I think this DS plastic is kind of more sturdy, I think, than some of the other types of plastic cartridges. It's kind of more resistant to gouges and things. And I think the other part of that is this game itself is not that valuable. It's not like it's a $50 DS game that I need to make sure I'm keeping in really, really good shape. Ooh, that was a good piece. Big chunk off there. All right, so that's looking better now. Got a lot less of that paper residue off it so far. So next we're just going to do some more of that Goo Gone. I don't think what I had before is going to be enough. I probably need to add some more Goo Gone, but we'll try that first just to see. No, that's not quite enough. So we'll add some more Goo Gone to that. All right, so same sort of thing. I'm going to kind of get that on there, then let that kind of sit for a minute while it's working on it. Meanwhile, let me get that sticker in the corner up here that I took off too. Make sure that's kind of fully gone. That looks good. Let that sit for just a second. So, did you have any good weekend plans this weekend, or even started already? Anything exciting for St. Patrick's Day? Any further house projects you've been working on this weekend, or anything else you're tackling? For us, the big event for us yesterday was we went to a Taylor Tomlinson concert show. I don't know what you call a stand-up comic show, but we went to that in at the Palace Theater in Columbus, Ohio, and had a good time at that. It was a really good show. Really enjoyed ourselves. Went with one of Kate's best friends. Met up with her and got a nice meal beforehand. But always good to go to like a show like that with lots of people. So house is pretty well set, so mostly just laying around. Just laid on the couch all day. Yeah, I bet you're just like, we're just in like full recovery mode over there, I'm sure. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit more of that, just kind of all-purpose cleaner, just to wipe off that remaining residue from the Goo Gone. Get a little bit off that label too, just make sure we get off any grime and dirt that's there. Let's see how that one looks compared to the last one. So yeah, this cartridge is not quite as in great shape as the other one, but for Aragorn's Quest, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. So the last thing we just got to do is clean those contacts. So we'll go back to the alcohol. A few drips of that. And just brush that across. Trying to clean off some of those contacts a little bit. While also trying to avoid getting alcohol on that unit identification number. That alcohol is strong enough to take that ink off. I think we're good there. All right, let's give that a test and see if it's working there. Excellent. It's reading it. It's always the first start. Looks like we're good here. Very good. All right, that's probably enough. Just wanted to see the logo, just to know. There we go. All right. How many save files do we got going on here? Ooh, someone made it all the way to level 36. So this game must be good enough to play to level 36 at least. That's always good to see. So that one's also going in the clean pile. Final loose DS game is one. You ever have a game that shows up and you like already have buyer's remorse for it? Like you're already like, I didn't do a good enough job on that. I've had that sometimes where like you buy a listing on eBay for like the best price you can get, and then like hours later someone drops a lower price on the same item, and you're just like, I should have bought that one instead. Or something like that. This is what happened here. Is I got this in like sort of a 2-for-1 with another game. And so I was like, I'm going to combine shipping. That'll save a bunch of money. And then he only took like $2 off to combine the shipping, and ended up not being that much of a saving. But then I flip it over and it's got this big S on it and like a dent. What is that? He didn't talk about that. So he didn't show the back of this game when I bought it. It was just a picture of the front. And when I saw the front, I was like, that's good enough. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm good with that. And then I flip it over and I'm like, the S I can deal with. That's easy. But the dent, I can't fix that. So I'm sure the game probably works, but I mean, that's why we're going to test it. We're going to test it to make sure. In fact, I might even test it first and then clean it, which is not how I normally operate. But in the event that this does not work, maybe because of the dent, then maybe I don't want to clean it too much. I'll just, tell the seller, hey, send me a busted game, and then I'll get a refund or something. But let's first see if we can just clean the contacts and get it in there, see if we can get it working. Yeah, I think I want to say I paid somewhere in the neighborhood of like $26 for this loose, and I think it's going for like 21. So like, in the grand scheme of things, losing $5 is not a big deal, but it's more like, if I do that if I pay $5 extra for every game I'm picking up, suddenly I'm out hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So pretty fun game name. Not even familiar with Dragon Ball. I have never seen a single episode of Dragon Ball. I don't know anything about it, but if you want to start with your Dragon Ball, why not play an Origins game? It's the beginning. That's what it means. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, why not? I'm sure this is a fun game, regardless of Dragon Ball Z knowledge. It looks like it's booting up fine, though. So we're good. It works. So that's the good news. The dent is not that big of a deal. Just a little cosmetic problem. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this S off, though. That sounds like a fun game to play. So we're just going to do our old-fashioned favorite method, which is to just take a dry erase marker, go right over that permanent marker, do a little bit of scraping with your dry erase marker. Just realized I probably need to be careful. Ooh, just tore off a piece of my marker back there. Ruined. Wow, that's like almost already gone without me even having to wipe anything back. Like, that almost did it. You can see a little bit of that S if you try hard. Let me take one more stab at it. One more stab at it. I just realized my marker is drying out, too. I've probably used it on too many games at this point. I was, like, just in the office at work the other day, too, and came across something like, 1,000 dry erase markers. I totally could have taken, like, a fresh black one, and no one would have noticed. I could have totally replenished my collection of dry erase markers while I was in the office. Well, guess I gotta go back in again. Gonna go in with a plan. It's like, I don't know if you do that with, like, used game stores where you go in and you're like, oh, they got this or that game. Huh, it's interesting. And then you leave, and then within like 3 days, you're like, all right, I got a plan. I'm going to go back to that game store. I'm going to go right to that aisle. I'm going to go get that game that I didn't get last time. I'm going to get that for sure, along with these other two things, and then continue looking for the other stuff that I couldn't find. That's going to be me at work with like a dry erase marker. Like I'm going to go up to that floor 3 in that other side building, and that's where they had all those dry erase markers that were still in the plastic. I'm going to grab just a black one. Anyway, here's what we're looking like now. That S, very much gone. Then you go back and the game is gone. That has happened. I've done that. There's just like a tiny bit up here by my thumb. That S. Tiny bit. Let's go a little bit more. Right by the dent, of course, because I probably couldn't get it very well. Oh, that's some good ASMR right there. I don't know if that's picking up. Oh, it is picking up on the mic. Awesome. Delicious. All right. So here's our status. That S, you can just barely see a little, but that's okay. I don't think it's worth fighting over anymore. You can still see the identification label. It's a little faint, but it's still there. CDZE. CDZ. There we go. All right. And we just tested it. It works fine. I'm going to go and put that in the save pile. And let's move to some loose 3DS. Well, no, I changed my mind. I'll do 3DS last. Let me go do some full cartridges that I got in. So here's a big lot of games I got. Tangled is supposedly it's pretty good game. I actually do already have this one. This one's a duplicate. Got a nice little. Oh, look at that poster. We're gonna frame that and put it somewhere close where I can think about Tangled, the movie, the video game, all the time. What else is in here? We got like the actual manual. Is it hiding under here? Nope. DS safety precautions, Wi-Fi booklet, poster, but no actual instructions. Good news is I have another one of these that I think is like brand new, so this is actually a second one. My gosh, I don't even need to probably test this, or I don't even need to do anything with this. This guy's just fine. Maybe just a little brushing. There we go. Let's throw it in. Make sure we don't have a defective copy of Tangled. But yeah, I got another one of those DS lots. It was like $20 for 8 garbage games and one game you want. And I'm like, yes, I want the game. I will take the rest. So I've got quite a few duplicates actually in here, which is fine. I also have a 4.5-year-old niece who I think the plan is to give her a Nintendo DS one of these days and let her play all these like Disney childhood games and have fun with those. So, all right, Tangled is working fine. I was not that worried about it. Yeah, I'll put that on the side. I won't put it back here because I'm going to put that in my folio. The case is a little goofy. Let me see if I can clean it without having to try too hard. Just a little wipe. That might be underneath the label. Oh yeah, that's underneath. That's just a tiny bit of water damage. Tiny bit of water damage. All right, so this is going to be the one we don't keep then. This will be the one we trade in. We'll just make sure that poster doesn't belong somewhere else. But the game works, which is what I was most importantly worried about. Next up is Silverlicious Sweet Adventure Game Mill Entertainment. So that means you're in for a time. Ooh, already thrown out of the case. Another one that looks like possibly no one wanted to play this game. Just give that a quick wiping. Does look like it had a rough ride or something. All the booklets and everything is all flying out everywhere. Put those back in. Let's just test this right out. I don't think it's got any other issues or defects on it. Looks fine. Looks like it's booting. I don't know anything about Silverlicious, by the way. Like, was this like a TV show, probably, for kids? I'm guessing. Oh yeah, this looks like a real gem for sure. All right, we'll put that to the side for now. Next one, yet another duplicate. The second copy of I Love Puppies that I have. I did not need 2 copies of I Love Puppies. But we'll get to the good part later. Yeah, same thing here. Just a little wipe down. I'm sure that's fine. Let's throw it in. Make sure it goes. Start putting everything else away because I'm sure it's fine. It is. Meanwhile, while that's booting up, I'm going to organize my pile based on, like, what am I excited to actually show you at the end here. Touch a dog and it will remember where you left off until the next time you visit us. Man, this Dalmatian Dots, he's my dude. Or her, I don't know, maybe she can be a dude. We're all dudes. Alright, as much as I want to play this for the rest of the afternoon, I think I'm gonna try another game. That's working. It's good to see. Next up, yet another one that's, you know, a game I probably have 18 copies of at some point. Actually, no, I actually don't have a copy of regular Scribblenauts. I have a copy of Super Scribblenauts, which is like an upgraded version of the same game. So, I technically don't own this. It actually does need a little bit of cleaning. So kind of like, you know, Wii Fit 2 or something, where it's just, or like Wii Fit and Wii Fit 2. Like I had Wii Fit 2 and got rid of my Wii Fit back when you could actually get trade-in value for it. So like 2007, 2008, I don't know, something like that. And then at some point was like, oh, I should probably get another copy of that original Wii Fit, like for $1 at some point, even though I have Wii Fit Plus. But overall, the entire transaction is like a net gain of like $24. Case is a little goofed up here on the back. Looks like someone had that too close to some heat and got a little overzealous with some heat there. But for a Scribblenauts, I don't think that matters too much. If I had to pick one game in my collection to have a goofied up case, I'd say Scribblenauts is a good choice. I mean, this is the kind of game you would strip just to take the case and leave a loose Scribblenauts behind. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Oh, it's going. It was loading. I thought it was like a disk error image I've never seen before. Alright, Scribblenauts works. That's all I wanted to see. That one is also not going to need much cleaning. Alright, here's another big winner. Squinkies 2. Activision, so you know they put their best people on this game. Their best people at Activision all made this game, I'm sure. Squinkies are back with a whole new adventure. So, again, there's a Squinkies 1 somewhere out there, huh? Not much to that one. I feel like I'm almost accidentally becoming a full library collector for Nintendo DS. Like, I think before the pandemic started, I already had probably 15% of the entire DS collection, and then got it to 20, and then at some point I got to about a third of the collection. And after these latest pickups, I might be close to like 40% of the entire DS collection in my library. I did not mean to do this. I did not have intentions of being an all systems collector at any point. I only wanted to get the good games, but then they kept giving me garbage games with the $1 for $1 to go with the good games. And then before I knew it, I had a whole bunch. And I kept thinking again, like, well, maybe my niece will really enjoy Squinkies too. Maybe she's gonna have a good time with that. Or maybe no one will mind if she takes it and ruins it. Whatever, it's fine. Alright, next up is one that's missing the artwork. This is Zoobles. Spring to Life. Zoobles. That one's okay. It's got the sticker's got a little bit. I don't know if I just fixed it, but it's a little lifted on the edges there. See if I can just kind of push that down. Right, we'll have to be careful with this one. It's very fragile. But it looks like maybe no one has ever played Zoobles. They just opened it up, took the artwork out. It does look like it's an original DS case, though. So if I really needed to find the artwork alone for another DS game, I could reuse this case if I wanted to. Meanwhile, Zoobles apparently was on Cartoon Network. Based on that logo. Seems to be working just fine. There you go. No joke either, because the Nintendo DS library is huge. It's ridiculously large. Very large. Alright, Zoobles works great. Okay, now we finally get to the 3 games in this lot that I was actually excited about. The first one is a Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension game. So you'd think, why is it that you wanted this game so bad, Chad? Why would you want this? It kind of looks like shovelware garbage. To which I'd say, you're probably right. It probably is. Oh, what? Enter the code to unlock bonus content? Where? What? How is there a code for bonus content? I don't think you could even get... Is that for like a DSi, maybe? Oh my goodness, I doubt that works anymore. I'm sure the store is off for me being able to access that. Got the instruction manual. The reason we wanted Phineas and Ferb in the second dimension is, I believe the composer of this, I could be wrong, but I believe the composer of this is Andrew Aversa, otherwise known as Zircon, who's just now kickstarting his next album that he's coming out with. So I'd have to like beat this game to get to the credits just to see who did the music, because I don't think it's actually posted anywhere. But I'm pretty sure this is one of the few games he did the music for. And so I wanted to play it through for that one. So am I going for any full game sets, or do you want one for any particular system or handheld? My answer to that in theory is no. In theory, I am not interested in a full collection set of any systems or anything. It's not the kind of collecting that I meant to do, I guess you could say. Oh, someone didn't get very far on this one. World 1-1, that's it. Yeah, I never meant to be a collector. I always meant to be like someone who plays more than they collects. I would say as my time has diminished and my money has increased, I'd say it's kind of switched a little bit, where I am in theory collecting more than I'm playing these days. I know we've talked about before that I still like the idea of like having like a library where you can say like, oh, are you looking for a Disney 2D platformer? Well, let me pull you off one of my several choices in that collection if that's what you want to play. I don't think I'm even going to be close to playing all of the games I own on any systems anytime soon. But I mean, look, like from what you can see in this game, like this doesn't look terrible. Like you got a little 3D action going on here. You got a little shooty gun. So you're shooting these guys. Boom. Like, this has got to be in the top half of jank on the DS system. I'm not saying it's going to be like the best game you've never heard of, but I will say this is probably not worth throwing away. Oh, I collected a medal. Also don't know anything about Phineas and Ferb itself, by the way. I was a little too old for that cartoon show at the time. What is this? Collect medals and unlock more costumes in the shop. Okay, thanks, bud. Oh yeah. You could go pretty far with a nice 3D platforming action game like this. This might be some good jank. Alright, that's enough for now. Cool that it's Zircon. I'm not super familiar with them, but I have heard some game remixes they've done, and they often have fan-made charts in the groove. Yes, I bet that's true. He does have that sort of electronica sound, and especially when he collaborates with his wife, Jillian Aversa as well, or Pixie Tricks if you know her from that old name. I did meet both of them at MagFest back in 2014. 2014, I think it would have been. Yeah, I would have met them back then. The couple times I did ever go to MagFest and did meet them, they were super nice, super great, and really enjoyed their like music panels they did there too, where they were like, "Here's how I create music in FL Studio, and here's how you can do it." And I'm like, "Cool," and then never tried it myself, but good stuff. Next one up is Art Academy Lessons for Everyone. I do own this game loose, so this gives me a case and manual. RRN. I don't know what that's about. All right, well, I've got a scraper tool right here, so we will just get right underneath there. This little piece of medical tape or something. Come on, buddy. Oh, that's very sticky. There we go. There we go. Art Academy looks like it's in great shape. So we're going to switch over to my 3DS. By the way, I've been meaning to show off my 3DS here for a while. This is what a well-loved 3DS looks like. I got some peeling up here in this corner, and then when you get over to the backs and sides, we get to some real jank. I've got all sorts of like discoloration and flaking on this side, and then over here it happens as well. Just missing like entire colors from my 3DS from use, from me playing this and with sweaty hands, and the the film on the outside flaking off. Love getting the case and manual for a loose game, so satisfying. All right, Art Academy. Well, I've got my 3DS out too. I was briefly considering if I wanted to do an old-fashioned garbage 2D camera stream like this to show off some of the games in the 3DS shop. Like an on-demand, like, all right, what game do you want to know more about? Let me see if I can pull it up from my library and tell you about it. But I think this gameplay is going to be not effective on here. Ah, a notification from Nintendo for your Spot Pass. Sure, absolutely. Oh, I want to share my stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, that is not going to work. There's just way too many reflections. I don't think it's going to be effective. Lessons or free paint? We're going to free paint. It's going to new image. I'm just going to get it right in on here. I don't even know what I'm going to draw yet. Subject image. I was just going to draw, like, I don't know, like dicks or something. Coarse canvas? Sure, bud. So much going on in this Art Academy game. But yeah, this game goes for like $12 by itself, I think. And I was happy to get this whole lot for like 20 bucks, which came with all those games. There. Look at that. Can't even tell the difference. It's the same picture. Nailed it in one. I don't need this game. I already know how to art. Very good at art. Lessons for everyone. Psh, I should be teaching these lessons. Alright, so Art Academy is working great. Got a case and manual. It's got all the bits in it. Super excited for that one. Put that to the side. And then the other one that, again, I was going for is Mario and Sonic 2012 at the Olympic Games in London. Also with all the bits. This game also goes for like $12 or $13 by itself. So getting in that lot was pretty good. I'm going to give this one a real quick wipe down. No, I'm going to go get a little bit of alcohol on that too. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's coming off better. That one needed just a little bit of cleaning. And then we'll test out our Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Booting up, always a good sign. Always good to get you can get a case and manual. At the Olympic Games. So Crawl, a non-medalist. Cool. Someone put 8 hours into this game, so it can't be that bad. Can't be that bad. Alright, not going to play that one right now, but happy to see it's working. Alright. There's those. Well, I have my 3DS out. I've got a few more loose games that I gotta clean off as well. Might as well grab those. These three came in a lot as well. I'll go ahead and just drop them all at once. Boom. Jake Hunter, Ghost of the Dark. So wait, Ghost of the Dark. Ghost of the Dusk. There it is. I can read. Jake Hunter, Detective Story, Ghost of the Dusk. We got a duplicate of Epic Mickey, and then SpongeBob SquigglePants, which is a little bit of like a WarioWare-esque game. So got all those. We're just gonna go ahead and wipe all those off at once without even thinking about it. Oh, that's actually totally fine. Doesn't look like it needs anything. Good to see. Ooh, that one's gonna need some scraping. We'll clean that off. There we go. The Jake Hunter was kind of interesting because the seller on this one had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 copies of just this game and listed all of them at the exact same time, ending at the exact same time on eBay. So he basically competed with himself. So 6 people all got to walk away with their game. I think I paid like $7.50 for it or something like that for a game, a 3DS game these days that's, you know, in a series. Like, that's a really low price for that. Oh, that's coming. This sticker's coming right up, by the way. This feels great. Oh, yeah. Excellent. Here's why you take those stickers off, by the way, is, yeah, that took ink right off that ID label. Uh, and so the longer you let those stickers sit there, the more of that ink is going to come off when you finally do remove that sticker. I can't put that ink back. All right, we're going to do just a tiny bit of Goo Gone on this, because it does have some residue. Jake Hunter to the moon. Yes. And that also goes well with the other Jake Hunter game I picked up today, too. That was this one. Jake Hunter Detective Chronicles there, too. There's one more Jake Hunter game that is very expensive. I don't know if I'll ever get around to adding that to my collection, because it's... I think it's going for more than retail now. I think it's above $60 or something. And yeah, that's on my outside of my range. But if I get 2 of the 3 of the series, I feel like you've kind of got the idea of it, right? That's what I tell myself. I don't know if I'll listen. But it's like, do you really need every single Jake Hunter game? Or are you good with, like, the majority of them? I think the answer is, I'm okay with the majority of them for a bit of time. And then at some point I will say, I gotta pick up that last Jake Hunter game. Put that in my collection. I'm missing out. What if that's the best one? Which probably is. That's why it's expensive. I'm missing out on all the fun. Alright. So those are all good. We're just gonna test them all out real quick. This one is a duplicate for me. Epic Mickey, I did already pick this up on eBay a few months ago. I think. Wait, did I get it? I might have got this on a GameStop order, actually. Yeah, I think I got this on GameStop, actually. It's part of like their buy 5 games, get 50% off or something like that sale. So I didn't actually need this one. It was just part of the lot. And it does... I mean, I'm sure I could like trade it off or give it away to someone for pretty cheap too. So anyway, that's working. Someone played this for 99 hours, it shows on here. This one's 43, unless those are minutes, but I don't think so. I think those are hours. So someone really enjoyed the Epic Mickey Power of Illusion there. Love to see it. Love to see people enjoying their games. Maybe I should try it someday. This is a work of fiction. This is not real. Never happened. All right, looks like we're booting up here. Continue. How far away do we get? How far do we get on this one? Oh, chapter 1. We did not get far in the Jake Hunter 3DS edition. Should run off to eat some lunch. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Thanks for coming in, Blink. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you continue feeling better. And yeah, maybe if we're lucky, I'll get that Steam Deck running and we'll play some Pocket Card Jockey if I can. But no promises. If you see me go live, assume it's good news. But yeah, hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming in. Wait, did you say there was an update on there? Go make that up. Made it mad because it took out the thing. I mean, it would have yelled at me when I turned it on if it had an update. I don't know what I saw. I'll play back the stream at some point, see what it was I missed. Anyway, that game's working. Good to see. One. SpongeBob SquigglePants. Upside down. There we go. Way forward. It's part of the reason we pick up that game. No save data. Alright, I'll let you create some save data. Right, this one saves on the system. That's why it's asking me to do a save file. So of course there's no save file here yet. Oh, that looks like fun. Alright, before I ruin that. Oh, it won't even let me stop. It's like, nah, you're in it for the long haul now, pal. Can I do that? Can I turn it off? There we go. Alright, excited to finally have that one in my collection. Been looking for SpongeBob SquigglePants for cheap for like, oh boy, a couple years. So that's my 3DS collection. Ooh. I'll clean that off real quick. This was already what was in my 3DS, and I just noticed it's got a label on the back. I was just telling myself I gotta take those stickers off, so let's do it. Let's get off this sticker. It doesn't have a price or anything on it, so I don't think I have any affection for this sticker. No nostalgia for it. No memories of when I bought this at GameStop. Though I did. Speaking of Way Forward, though, this is yet another Way Forward game. Adventure Time. Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? I have played the demo of this for a few minutes. I haven't played the actual game itself yet, but I am planning on having this be one of my A letter beats for that Polykill challenge, as well as the year this came out. It's one of years I don't have anywhere. But it's kind of like a Legend of Zelda 2 clone. And so that's why I'm excited to get all the way through that. Like I said, I played a few minutes of it and was like, yep, that's good. And good enough to play through at some point. So this year is going to be when I finally do play through Adventure Time. I have not actually watched hardly any episodes of Adventure Time. I've tried once, got pretty bored of it in that first season. I'm sure it takes a while to get going, and like once you get in, you're like all the way in. But I was like, why watch a show when I could play a video game, which is one of my usual problems. Almost got it off clean. It's got a little bit of stuff on it. That's all right. We'll just scrape off the rest, and if we have to get some cleaner, we will. I wasn't even planning on doing this cleaning today. This game was not on my pile. It was just already in my 3DS. Alright, see if I can give that just a little bit of a wipe down. Yep, perfect. And just a tiny bit of cleaner. Just a tiny bit. Go and clean the front while we're at it. Excellent. The other thing I really like about this game too is it does open with a song with lyrics. It's got a jam. So I'm not going to spoil that for you, but I'm just going to tell you that increases the value of Adventure Time. Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? By a solid 20%. Just that song alone. slaps. All right, while we're cleaning, I got a few more to clean here. No longer DS games, no longer hand... you know what? I got one more handheld. I don't think I have to do any cleaning on it, but I do want to show off. I finally got Valkyria Chronicles 2. Probably the top item on my PSP wish list for a really long time. The price of it went back down a little bit for a second. And so I was able to buy this for like $21, $22, something like that. A pretty good price on this. For as long as I've been trying to find this, I'd either never find it in person, or when I did find it, it was way overpriced. So very happy I can add this to my collection. It's got the manual, the case, the disc. Oh, and it looks good so far. I'm going to pop this out, take a look at it. Yeah, that's in real good shape. I don't need to do anything with that. That's as good of a shape as you can get for a PSP used game, I think. That's exciting. So, I still have to finish Valkyria Chronicles 1. I'd love to play Valkyria Chronicles 4 as well, but I feel like I gotta finish the first one. But knowing that I now own Valkyria Chronicles 2 for PSP is a big win there. Super happy about that. I am just gonna see if I can get some of this goo off the front real quick without going too nuts. And let me try a little bit of the Goo Gone. Yep, there it goes. Just a little goo on there from something. We'll look and tilt it around and see if I can see any other goos. Yeah, I don't think this game was ever traded in. I think someone bought this new, and then I bought it from them, so. Just wipe down that case a little bit, because that's a good one. I want to take care of this guy. Super happy about that one. Okay, so next we got a few other games to pick up. I got NBA Showtime in one of those lots. This is the 1999 beat that I wanted to do, but I didn't own the game. This is, for some reason, I just noticed this is like in this plastic container, but like sealed. Like they've got these little like stickers on here, so I can't open this thing. Is this some WADA grading garbage going on in here? I don't need this. I'm not planning on keeping this plastic case at all. So we're just gonna... Ooh, do I want to peel it off or cut it off? Do I even have something sharp here? Oh, you know what? I kind of do. Could use my metal scraper, which should be sharp enough on the edges. I should be able to cut into this. There we go. Like a glove. Something plastic just fell off here, so that's good. Yeah, there we go. We'll keep that forever. I don't need this for anything. Basically garbage. All right, we'll put that metal scraper away, but it may come right back for this label. We'll see. It's got a little bit of a goo on the normal, or like a dent on this top corner that I'm not super excited about, but it looks like the game should play well. The contacts look pretty good. We'll clean it off regardless, and then we'll see if we can attack this label and this permanent marker, see if we can get some of this off, see what we can do. On some of my older Nintendo 64 games, before I really started doing a lot of cleaning and collecting, what I would do on these is I would take like a razor blade and I would like cut right at the label and just like take off this part at the bottom and like leave this part on because I was afraid of peeling off this gray part. But I think I can try to take this on now. I think I've leveled up enough to take on this challenge. So let's start with the contacts first. So I'm gonna get just a Q-tip and get some of that IPA. Just notice I've got Discord beeps going on here. I don't know if you can hear it on stream or not, but let me make sure I mute that. There we go. Fixed it. Okay. So yeah, we're going to get some alcohol on this here Q-tip. And we're just going to scrub on here and see what kind of colors we're pulling off. The more colors, the more I got to do. Yeah, I'm getting some color all right. So we'll use both sides of this Q-tip then. We'll use this side to just kind of get the first layer of gunk off, get most of that junk. Yeah, yeah, that's gross. It's gross. That's gross. I would have put that in my Nintendo 64 if I didn't clean this off first. I would have put that right in my childhood system. Made it so every other game didn't run as well. Alright, so I'm going to do the other side of this Q-tip, get some fresh alcohol, go back to scraping. Still picking up a little bit of color here, but it's not as much. On some previous cleaning streams with Nintendo 64 games, I've opened these up before and taken this pink eraser onto the contacts. I do think that's the best thing to do first. It would have made it so I didn't have to do this as much or as hard or whatever. But I do hate putting these Nintendo 64 games back together because of that metal shielding. I find it super obnoxious. It's not enjoyable for me. Which is funny, talking about someone who's just going right in on these without gloves on and just going to town, cleaning off gunk, but I'd rather do that than try to put together and take apart those metal shieldings. So, alright, so we got that much, much better. That should probably play now. Not exactly perfect, but it's good enough. And then we're going to see what we can do. This label first. Let's start there. I don't think this is going to be good enough, but I've already got it out. So let's try the plastic scraper. See if we can get underneath the corner here. Not going well so far. Let's try another corner. Well, it's kind of falling apart immediately. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of disintegrating right as I start peeling at it. So we may be in a rough time here. Ooh, it's like crunchy. It's like a crunchy noise. Let me put that closer to the mic. See if you can hear this crunch as I kind of peel it off. Try this side. Well, that guy's way more stubborn than I expected. Way more stubborn. All right, well, let's try a little bit with the metal scraper, but I think what I'm going to have to do here is I think I'm going to have to get some cleaners out. See if I can get underneath here, maybe. This is a bad sticker. It's just no good. It just disintegrates. I don't have a great plan for this one. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little stumped on this one. I think we're going to try some heptane. We're going to try to make sure we don't ruin this gray label that's came with. But yeah, I'm a little more stumped on this one. This one's got me good. Because this label is crunchy, which I haven't had before. So I'm going to try dipping this in. Set this side carefully. Just see if I can kind of get the edge of this label and see if it can eat away at any of the adhesive that's underneath here. Again, avoiding the gray for now. I'm just going to start with here and see if it works before I go toward that gray original label. And let's start with plastic. I'm sure I'll switch over to the metal one. Not a good feel. It just doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good at all. So yeah, it just completely disintegrates as I try to scrape it off. This is gonna be like the YouTube thumbnail. Has Chadley finally met his match? Have we finally found a label that I can't get rid of? Just not sure where to go with this one. You're definitely not going to get the whole thing in one piece. That's impossible. So do you just kind of scrape off the best you can and then clean the rest, I guess? Maybe. I feel like since I started, I can't just give up and say, never mind, I'll leave it alone. It's too late. I've already goofed it. I've already goofed it up to this point. I'm going to pause here for a second just to put my gloves on for a couple reasons. One is because I'm probably going to end up using that heptane again, which is a stronger chemical. One, I probably don't want to get on my bare hands, but also because of the cut resistance of this, I'm really pushing on this metal scraper for this job. And if I slip, there's a chance I cut my hand. So, which I've done before, on stream, in fact. So, just for safety, I'm going to put my safety gloves on. Alright, that feels better already. I feel like I'm safe to really go at this guy now. So we're just gonna scrape away here. Oh, look at that. What we found here. See that? It's like a little security strip of some sort. Like a Blockbuster rental sticker or something. What do you think's gonna happen if I peel this back? Well, we're gonna find out. It's gone now. Ooh, now I can actually get some of this paper off. Here we go. Not going to get all of it, but those are big, big chunks. Excellent. Love that. Oops. Knocked my finger. Close enough. That was fun. Alright. Let's just keep scraping away at least at the bottom half of this and see how we can do. Maybe this gray one's gonna stay. I don't know, but the bottom half was just on the cartridge. Let's just keep going. Actually, you know what? I can probably let's go ahead and get this soaked with some heptane. See what this does. We're just gonna kind of let that eat away at whatever's going on in there. Alright, why don't you sit there and think about what you've done. And we'll see what we can do with this. It feels like it did nothing. This is one stubborn sticker. Got some good progress there. Yeah, it's just disintegrating all over my playmat. Playmat, he calls it. Alright, so I think I'm just going to scrape this off like it's ice off my windshield in the winter. I'm just going to kind of, just like ice scrapings, I'm just going to try to get off as much as I can, just like ice in the winter. And then we'll, like, you know, defrost the other side. You know, let the heat get the other side, maybe. That's a good point. I wonder if a heat gun would work well on this. I doubt it, because this paper is just too much. But yeah, we're going to just scrape off as much paper residue off the top as we can. Trying to leave as much, or get all this paper off that we can. And then hopefully we'll have the sticky residue underneath, and then our heptane can hopefully help us with that. We're going to see if that works. So I'm just going to keep pushing over here. Trying to get as much paper as I can without gouging out the plastic too bad. Flip that over and try from the other direction. My mat's gonna need like a bath after this. Alright, so here's a quick progress report for everybody. So we've gotten a bunch of that paper off. We kind of got this like yellowish, brownish stuff. Good news also for those keeping track at home, I don't see a lot of gouges so far. Despite me using a metal tool and pushing pretty hard, we're looking pretty good here. Like this is as rough as this guy has been for us, the sticker. This feels like it's going pretty well. Oh, that was a miss. That was a miss. I don't know if you just saw that, but I just did this. Just did that by missing with the metal tool. So let's slow down a little bit. Be a little more careful. And then let's go ahead and do a quick heptane break again. Let's swip over here. See if we can hit this little purpley, brownish garbage junk. A little more of that heptane. Just let that eat in. Hopefully that'll absorb it. And then we can get that off later. That's our hope. I knew I was going to do that. Like, it's too rough with my paper scraper. My middle scraper. Boy, that feels like it didn't do anything. Try from this side. See if that's a little better. A little bit. So I'm kind of getting more of that stuff off, but boy, I feel like I just got to keep going at this over and over again until it's all gone. But it really does truly feel like the feeling of using an ice scraper on a windshield. That's honestly the just what this feels like. Only again, I don't have just, you know, like a all-purpose windshield washer fluid that I can just spray on this and watch it all melt away from here. I don't have my heat gun with me, but I wonder if that would have done anything. More heptane. See if that does anything. I'm gonna give this some more heptane and just see if it'll eat at any of this residue. Actually, it's funny as that's kind of working. If I use like a Q-tip instead of a scraper, instead of scraping it off and removing it, it's like it's absorbing into the Q-tip. Interesting. I would not have expected that to work. It's like once I got it low enough, I guess this was sort of working. All right, it's better. It's better. Gotta figure out what to do with this brown stuff though, or this this gray label. I mean, guess we'll kind of do the same thing. We're gonna do our best to scrape off the top layer, and then I guess carefully use some heptane on the whatever's left. But I think we gotta get this top layer of paper off the best we can. While being which requires a lot of force, but yet, again, I don't want to use too much force and ruin the gray label underneath. Right now, you can't even see the gray label, so you gotta do something. Gotta do something. Too hard, too rough. Too rough is what I was afraid of. You can see there, I've pulled off gray label. This is exactly the worst case scenario that we were trying to avoid. I thought I got under it, which was exciting, but I really just got gray label. We ripped into it. Okay. So I'm going to kind of ease up a little bit, best I can here. Be a little more gentle. Probably take longer time to do it. Yeah, I can't really go back to that left side anymore. I need to come at it from this side eventually. Just out of curiosity. At this point, now that I've already goofed it up to this extent, what will a little bit of heptane do to it? Just swip into my plastic, see if plastic does any better. It does nothing. Plastic doesn't even touch it. I think this one may have bested me. I think the only tool I could have tried that I didn't try yet is like a heat gun to this. But I just don't know if I can make any other real progress on this. Yeah, every time I think I'm doing good, I look down and look carefully, and some of the gray is coming up. So I might be doing more damage than good at this point. So I think I may need to bail, which I've never done. I think I need to bail on this attempt. I'm gonna try I guess we can move on to the permanent marker a little bit. But I think I got bested. I think I got bested on this one. Yeah, my marker looks like it's running out of go juice. Not much happening there. All right. Do I have another marker? Let's find out. All right, so I've got a blue one, brand new, which is good because I've got blue ink on here. So let's see if this does anything. Not doing much. I guess it's a little better. I'm being a little harsh. It's a little bit better. course, that paper label is now turning blue. Ugh, oh, man. I'm gonna try one more time, and then we're gonna put cleaner on here, and then we're just gonna say we did our best and failed. Can't get them all, I guess. Oh, running out of paper towels. We get a refill, but first, let's see what we got. Alright, so we're gonna get some all-purpose cleaner on here. Let's see if we can get any luck with whatever's left here. We're getting a little bit of color coming up here, like the blue, but we're leaving a lot behind as well. So, this is one of the first ones I've tried to clean where, like, it doesn't really look much better than when I started. Like, I guess we got some of this off down here at the bottom, which was good. But we couldn't get any of this one. So again, kind of like my old method that I mentioned early on, where I used to just, like, trim it and just call it good enough. I think that would have actually been better in this case. I think it would have been better to just trim off the sticker that I could get and leave behind the other one, because, like, what I've done here in this corner is worse than what it was when I started. I've ruined it. And now I've got some extra, like, fresh blue on here that I can't get off either. I think the blue, there's some parts of this blue that's more blue than it was when I started, mostly due to the damage, I think, that was already on here. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess. But I guess at the end of the day, as long as our copy of NBA Showtime plays, that's really all we came for, right? We came for the game, not the label. So I'm just kind of cleaning up the rest of the bits here. Since I've got the cleaner out. Gonna get a little bit more for the front. There'd be like scrapes on the end of this thing. Just see if I can get a little bit underneath some of that. Let me get a little more cleaner on here. Just attack this corner. Not much color coming up, so don't think we'll do much better on this one than what we've got here. So that was NBA Showtime. We'll test that out later and see if that one's working. What a disgusting mess I've got left behind here, though. Gross. Gross. We'll have to clean that later. Okay. Next up is a few ones where we got like a fresh case here. Thought it had a manual with it. It doesn't. So we just got a fresh case and a game for another game that I've already got. So later I'll test to see which one of these is better in better shape. But let's get back to our plastic scraper. Get all the gunk off of there. And see if we can get this sticker. Oops. Get the sticker off the case here. Let's go ahead and get our trusty GameStop Power-Up Reward card and stick that underneath this vinyl, just to make sure we don't leave any gouges anywhere as we try to peel off this sticker. Very papery sticker here. There we go, starting to get some. I definitely don't want to use my metal scraper on this part, because the metal scraper will be way too sharp, too hard, and I will definitely gouge the vinyl with the metal scraper. So we got to stick to plastic here. Okay. Let me get a fresh Q-tip. See if I can assist peeling off this sticker a little bit. I'm gonna once again dip this in some heptane. Kind of get off some of the excess there. And then we're gonna put this on the corners underneath what I'm scraping up. So this should make it so that this tool is able to get under here a little easier, in theory. So we'll just kind of keep applying as we're peeling here, in theory. And then hopefully that'll be enough to get this to come off in one pretty clean piece. But I guess we'll see. No, not even close. It starts to immediately blow up on me. I'm surprised how stubborn this sticker is. This didn't look like a bad sticker when I bought it and when I saw it. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but as I'm trying to peel it off, really, really sticky. So we'll just keep going at it. Take our time. See if we can peel anything off here. Could also bail. I might. And just peel off. Oh, nope. Hoping to get more paper than that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little defeated here. 2 in a row, really bad ones. Ones that I thought I'd be able to get. And they're both beating me. Oh, man. I'm going to try putting some heptane on the outsides of this sticker, just to see if that'll help with loosening it up at all. Like, can I get some of that heptane underneath here, possibly, so that this adhesive won't be so stuck on the corners. Once I can get the corners up, maybe I can get the whole thing. We'll see. It's been real rough. Feels like it did nothing. There we go. Now we got a little bit of something there. Rotating this around a little bit. I feel like this method was working okay when I started, And then I thought maybe I could peel it off from there with my fingers, and then it didn't. It tore everywhere. I kind of didn't go back to this technique, so I'm gonna try it again now. Where I'm gonna try peeling it up a little bit, applying some heptane, peeling it up again, and just kind of do that all the way down this gigantic sticker. Can't believe how large this sticker is too. That's part of my frustrations with this too. Is it's just a huge sticker. Normally big stickers like this just come off in one piece, but like this whole thing is just sticking. And just when I think like, oh, it's coming up pretty good, I think I could just peel this corner like this. Like I give it a little bit of a tug, and then it starts to fall apart again. Made some good progress there. Oh, just gotta keep this up. All right, so I think we're going to be able to get it with this method by following this. It's just going to take quite a bit of time. Quite a bit of time for what's a $10 case or something. A lot of work, but... So the method again is I'm kind of like peeling a little bit, applying some, and then using my tool to scrape across that seam. And then as soon as I get to some like fresh sticky stuff, put down some more heptane, which will eat away at that residue, allowing me to get underneath it. So I'll see if I can lift this up and show you kind of what I'm seeing. So when I get to the part where you can see like kind of lines forming where that stickiness is catching against the label, that's when I know I need to just put some heptane down. So then once I apply that heptane, it's eating away at that seam. And then I can start peeling off, again until those lines start to show up. And we just apply some more heptane. I'm just going to do this all the way down. And I'm like, I don't know, a third of the way through this sticker at this point. So I just got to keep this going. It's working. It just takes a while. And then as I get close, I notice my heptane starts to run out. I got to get a refill on that. Now, is it possible I got to the point where I don't need the scraper anymore? Maybe I just need to just apply this Q-tip and just pull gently? That's possible. So I'll just kind of keep peeling and applying heptane then. So I'm basically just kind of trying to destroy the adhesive, I guess, as it appears. Because I can't really get underneath this paper label without just peeling it back. That's the best way to get under it. There's a little bit, you can probably barely see it right down here. It's where it didn't come up. That's where I need to go back in with my scraper. Scraper needs to make another appearance. Make sure we're peeling off that whole sticker and not leaving any trails behind. Go back with some heptane again. Okay. You can tell I'm getting close to needing to do another heptane refill. Yeah, let's try it now. Get a little bit more. I'll go ahead and switch to the other side. There we go. There we go. Come on, buddy. Okay. Whew. Finally got off a big old paper junk. And now he's got to work on the little kind of like residual bits that are here. So I'd say another good dousing of heptane will help out here a lot. Start letting it eat away at that. Now I can get my paper scraper, and it should be able to get underneath it now. Yep, there we go. Switch to a paper towel. And there should be some more sticky residue here, but it's the kind I'm going to want to get off with Goo Gone at this point. We'll switch over. Go. And then I have to remind myself that if it's not coming up right away, it could be it just needs to eat at it for a little bit. It needs to sit with that Goo Gone that I just applied. That Goo Gone does not work instantaneously. It works best if you give it just a few seconds to sit there and eat away at what you just put it on. Okay. Better. Better. Get a good look at what we got going on here. So, I think we just put that gouge in there. I think that was us. I think we did that while trying to get that out. Other than that, that looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. I'm just going to give it another, with like my last paper towel, I think. Get a little more cleaner and just kind of just wipe off the overall vinyl case here. Actually, before I start rubbing all over my table, let me close off my fluids so I don't accidentally dump them all over the table. There we go. Okay. All right. So you got a little bit of color off of there. So that's basically, again, that's gunk that we pulled off with just some cleaner. But now our case is looking pretty good. Pretty good. A little gross up in this corner, but I don't know if I can get any of that. Even get most of it at least. Yeah, it's better. All right. Oof. There's your Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Dungeon. A little bit better than it was. Whew. All right. Let's save that one for last. Here's another big pickup, Evolution Worlds. I was surprised to get this one so quickly. I just added this to my wish list and was waiting for it to hit somewhere close to like $20, and then I found one. Found one that hit like $20. This one, ooh, it came with a little styrofoam in there to keep your disc in one spot. That's a nice touch. This one's in pretty good shape. The disc is a little scratched, so I'll have to test this and make sure it works. If it doesn't work, one of these days we're gonna have to do a disc cleaning stream. We do a lot of cartridge streams, we do a lot of case streams. I have not attempted a disc cleaning stream, you know, like removing scratches. So one of these days that's coming. I don't think it's today though. Alright, so we're gonna give this a little more cleaner. Wipe down the front. Wipe down the side. Wipe down the back. And just make sure this nice case is in great shape. This one, again, is probably going to be a pretty relatively valuable game on the GameCube. Well, I guess all GameCube games are kind of relatively valuable, so I do want to make sure this one is in a nice, pristine case, in good condition. Feeling pretty good about that. So we'll test that one out next. And then, speaking of GameCube cases that are kind of disasters, we got a Peter Jackson's King Kong that looks like it went off-roading, I think. It is covered in dirt and grime. Also, you can hear it going clonk in there. Oh boy, that is real gross right there. That's just gross. When you open up, there's 2 discs in here. Not like disc 1, disc 2. Like, they have just 2 copies of King Kong. And if you look closely at the discs, I'd say both of them are pretty rough shape. I think this one here has a scratch right here that may have been causing skips. So maybe our friend here was just like, I'll just get another case. But this one also has some bad scratches on it. So, again, one of these days, we're probably going to do a disc cleaning stream. We're going to do it live, where we figure out together how to try to clean up these scratches and see if we can get it to work. I'll have to test some of my games and see which ones are skipping, if any, or just which ones look like this or just kind of real gross. This one especially is real bad. So we'll try one of these days a cleaning stream on that. But for now, I'm going to put these discs gently to the side. Get out our paper towel again. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take the artwork out of here too, because this one... The artwork is okay. It's fine. It's gross, actually. That's terrible. I hate it. Anyway. This case, though, could use some cleaning. So we're going to start with just the outside. I'm going to give this kind of a 2 sprays with a cleaner, because this one is going to need it. Looks like it's on the inside too, so we're going to have to go to town on this guy. So that's all coming off the case. It's icky. It's icky. I'm going to try to clean the inside of this one too a little bit because it's so bad. Alright. And then see if I can get... Oh, bad. Glad I put my gloves on, by the way. This would have been... Oh, gross, man. What are you doing with this guy? What's your excuse? Not a good one. But like, is it King's Kong's fault? Is it like the game's fault that it's gross, right? Like, I get a little bit of like a Toy Story vibe with this, right? Like, the game didn't ask to be neglected like this. King Kong didn't do anything to deserve this sort of treatment. So like, maybe I can help it out a little bit. Maybe we can get a little better here, boys. We're just gonna ball this guy up, get his fresh spray on here. There we go. We're just gonna get inside here and just see what we can do. So like, I'm like out of paper towels, but I'm gonna use this one again. This is like an old one I had earlier. Let's give us another fresh bath. Still getting some colors off of here, so we're not done. But I feel like we're making good progress. If there's ever a time to just give your whole thing just a dunk in a bath, this one would have been it. Just put this in the bathtub. Put it in your dishwasher. Just open it up and put it on the pots and pan setting. All right, so I feel like that's a lot better. It's a lot better. Certainly not great. I don't love it. But I feel like we did our best. What we could here. Put this guy back in his artwork. That paperwork just started like disintegrating on me, which is probably not good. Probably much worse than just dirty, but guess that case was holding that artwork together. Anyway, that's King Kong. The case doesn't look as bad anymore. The artwork looks bad. It's having a rough time. We're just gonna, I guess, stick those two back in there. Might as well. I could even use this guy if I wanted. Sure, let's put that back in. There we go. King Kong. Ew. Okay, so my whole workstation just needs a shower at this point. This whole thing is gross. It's rough. It's bad. But we got through our games that we wanted to clean today. So that's good. So my next step is going to be, I guess, first to clean up all this. Get all this cleaned up. It's gross. And then we will next put these games in my digital collection, if that makes sense. So like where I keep track of all the games that I own, I'll add entries for all of these. So make sure they're all in there so I don't, buy other duplicates by accident. And then the final step then would be to put them in my collection. So I've got my DS portfolio where I'm putting all my games in there. So I will put them all in there. That'll be next. And then after all that, I'm going to see if all my updates have installed over on my Steam Deck. And we may see if we can get a stream going for Pocket Card Jockey. I'm going to try. I'd really like to be able to show off that game for anyone who's looking for stuff to buy on the 3DS shop before it closes. Pocket Card Jockey Absolutely number one recommendation from the eShop. You, in theory, can get a port of it on the Apple Arcade. I'm not sure if it's a port or a new game in the Pocket Guard Jockey series, but because that's a subscription service, you still don't actually own the game. You can play it, sure, for now, but 5 years from now, that might not be playable anymore. You may not have a phone that can play that game, or it may not be available, or you don't want to have to subscribe to Apple Arcade every month just to be able to play one game. So definitely, if you have a 3DS, I would recommend Pocket Card Jockeys when you got to pick up. And like I said, hopefully I'll show that off later. So that's going to do it for me on stream. I'm going to clean up everything. But thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. Thank you, Blink, for showing up. Appreciated talking to you. Hope you're having a good day. But everyone else has a great day. And if we're lucky, I'll be back on with another stream later today. So in the meantime, we'll clean up, and hopefully I'll talk to all of you all later. Have a good one. Bye.